Hello and welcome to our new and exciting CAD Clips series on Revit Structure I'm calling A to Z. And this lesson is an overview of what's to come in this Revit Structure series of CAD Clips. What I'm going to do is I've got some notes and stuff inside of here, and I'm going to kind of fire through this and give you a bit of a heads up on the different things that we'll be learning in this series of CAD clips, and then I will flip over to a 3D model and give you a bit of a demonstration on some of the features of Revit Structure. So first thing I want to mention is that these CAD clips, or this series, is designed for the new Revit user, new to Revit or Revit Structure. Either way, we're going to go over, treat this like you've never used Revit as a product right from the beginning. So the next note I want to make in here is these CAD clips will be using Revit Structure 4, and unfortunately this is right on the doorstep of Revit Structure 2008 being released, and I can't do too much about Autodesk's release dates, but the main thing is I have been told by a very reliable resource that the difference between the two, Revit Structure 4 and Structure 2008, is very minimal, especially in the fundamentals, virtually no change. So if you're viewing these Revit Structure CAD clips in Structure 4 and you're using 2008 version, not to worry, you can just kind of go through it. So the next thing I want to mention is please feel free as I develop these CAD clips to suggest a topic before the series is done. You can email me at cadclips@telus.net and suggest a topic. Maybe you've already been using Revit Structure and you've already got something you want to know. By all means, send me an email. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is using Revit Structure in a nutshell, okay, right here. And what I want to mention here is really, in a nutshell, what is Revit Structure? Well, it's using the Revit modeling and interface tools. So we have all the nice interface tools that we have with Revit, and we use that, be it as an architectural tool or as a structural tool. We're going to learn all of that and all the modeling techniques and stuff like that. And then on top of that, we're going to use the Revit structural modeling tools themselves. We're going to use the Revit structural analysis schematic model. We're going to create and apply structural loads. We're going to learn about checking the structural member connectivity and integrity. And then we're also going to learn how you can integrate with a third-party structural analysis program. So at a glance, this is really, this top paragraph here is what using Revit Structure is in a nutshell. So given some more detail on what we're going to cover in these particular CAD clips, and I use the word some of the things we will learn over the course of these Revit Structure A to Z CAD clips, because obviously we're going to learn a lot more than what I've just got listed here, but this is really the bulk of it. So we are going to talk about the interface of Revit using the pull down menus, the design bar, the toolbars, the options bar, status bar, the type selector, the project browser, view control, and view control bar, and the drawing area. So we've got, you know, all of our pull down menus, we've got all of our toolbars, we've got our project browser, we've got our design bar over here. Down on the bottom we've got our view control bar, and then we've got our general drawing area. So we're going to learn all about this. Obviously we're going to be using the interface throughout the entire series. Again, typical for Revit Structure or architecture. We're going to talk extensively about settings. Specifically, we're going to talk about the structural settings and how our load cases work, which is all the good engineering stuff, and load combinations, analytical information, boundary connections, and stuff like that we're going to have a look at. So all the settings as well as all the other settings with line styles and line weights and view tags and annotation settings and project units and all that good stuff. So we're going to learn all about the settings, and we're going to talk about grids and levels and reference planes, our main datum objects, and grids are fantastic, as well our levels. That's our parametric power. If we move a grid, then all the columns and beams and walls that are, you know, associated to that grid will update. So at a very quick snap of the fingers or click of the mouse, we can move a grid line or change a dimension between a grid line, and the whole entire Revit model will update, including the sections, the elevations, and the plans, and all that stuff. So normally, heaven forbid, someone moves a grid line. Well, that's a big job in traditional CAD drafting, where you've got to update a lot of stuff when one grid line moves, even if it's just a couple inches or a few millimeters. So in Revit, you move the grid line and that's it. Revit just pieces it all back together and stretches it all around. Similarly with levels. With levels, we move a level up or down, or we change a level elevation. Okay, levels are horizontal planes that are offset vertically, and the levels control our model. Everything is associated to a level. We've got top of footing, underside of underside of slab, or top of slab, or second floor, third floor, 10th floor, whatever you want to name your levels. You move a level, everything on that level or associated. Even you can even offset things from a level. Something can be 4 inches above a level or 6 inches below a level. If you move the level, everything tied to that level will then move. Reference planes, another form of datum, and we can work with our reference planes as well. Okay, a must, I say. Grids, levels, reference plane are all a must when we're modeling, be it Revit structure or Revit architecture. We have general modeling tools as our next topic, and general modeling tools are, you know, everything I know about modeling, and that is, you know, whatever I've learned in the last couple of years about modeling in Revit. I'm going to teach you all that great stuff. So modeling techniques all over the place by using, you know, all of our different components and everything that we could possibly do. So this is really a big topic of general modeling. Okay, copy and paste. Revit takes full advantage of the copy and paste technology, whereby we can copy a floor or a level and then paste it, you know, up the next 10 levels, and all of a sudden we've got an instant high-rise with, you know, all of our typical floors with all the openings and columns and everything will just get pasted up. So instantly you can take, especially if you have typical floor plans, you can very quickly copy and paste those up and create that great big beautiful 3D model, and you can copy and paste from project to project, and some really neat stuff. So copy and paste we'll be doing extensively, taking a lot of shortcuts with this technology. Views, we've got section views, we've got call-outs, we've got cameras, we've got walkthroughs, plan regions, elevations, all this good stuff under our views topic. We're going to learn all about these and how we can then take all our views and add annotations and scale, put a scale factor and put these on our sheets, and we can duplicate views and do all kinds of neat stuff with views. So views are really one of the magical things about Revit, and we're going to be using those and learning all about this extensively. We've got a few more tools. We've got the line work tool, match type tool, paint tools, and our tools are all up inside of here: align and split and trim and offset and different attached join geometry and join roofs and all of our great tools. We've got our options bar over here, which is dynamically changing all the time. If we go in and draw a beam, we'll see that, you know, we have different beam options. If we draw a column, we'll have different column options. So the options bar and toolbar is always changing depending, or I should say the options bar is always changing. The toolbars are static, reference planes and stuff. So line work and match type and painting materials and stuff, we're going to learn all about those. Then we get to our documentation topic, and once we model it all, we need to add our text notes and our dimensions and our schedules and title blocks and reference planes and bubbles and keynotes and tags and legends. So we add all of our documentation to our objects, and then on our views, and then we take those views and we put them on a sheet. We'll talk about printing, all about printing. Printing in Revit's really easy. It's pretty basic stuff. We can learn about that, adding materials and creating and managing materials. Materials are kind of neat, where we can get in and do some shading and rendering and do some perspective views and make things look realistic. And and also use materials as far as keynotes go. Then we can talk a little bit, we'll learn about visibility graphics and view templates. Okay, visibility graphics and view templates really work hand in hand. Visibility graphics are the closest thing that we have that resemble AutoCAD layers. So if you've used AutoCAD, you know about layers. Well, this is about as close to layers as you'll get in Revit. You can go in and you can have a look at, you know, the different floors and the different components of a floor, and you can turn them on and off and control the way they appear in line types and all kinds of stuff. Annotation objects, you can turn things on or off first of all, and then you can control the appearance. Imported CAD files and stuff you can control. So visibility graphics, very powerful tool, adjusting the visibility of various model and annotation objects. We'll learn about that. And then the best friend of the visibility graphics is our view templates, because we can basically capture the way the view visibility is set up per view and create a template and apply the view templates and transfer them from project to project. So view templates, there's a bunch of them that come with Revit built in, and we can change those view templates as we please and then alter them and save them and transfer them from project to project. Very powerful. Another great shortcut, view templates, working with our visibility graphics. So everything up to that point is all kind of standard Revit stuff. And then we get into the really juicy stuff, which is the structural things. So we have our structural physical model, where we go in and we model our structural stuff. Columns, beams, joists, purlins and trusses and load-bearing walls and foundations and slabs and footings. We model that. As we model that, the structural and analytical model, the fun stuff, this is the structural schematic or stick frame of the physical model.